savings. I blame it all on daylight savings.
That happened for us like a month ago.
Well, it happened for us last night.
I know. Can't remember who it was that was complaining about it. Someone was complaining about it.
Hmm. The weird thing is, you're not live on YouTube, but it says that you are. Oh, now you are.
You'll love when you're live on YouTube and not live on YouTube.
Well, when I went to your actual YouTube page, it doesn't show. I mean, it has your icon listed as live, so when I click that, then it takes me to the live. Oh, okay, now it's showing up. Yeah, now it's showing up.
Yeah.
It must have been that 3-second delay or whatever.
That's annoying. Not as annoying as, Prism just completely fucking me over. God damn.
Yeah.
Don't like that. No, that fucking God fucking. So yeah, as I was saying to Sax, we played tonight, and we are facing down the Jarl and his forces now. Yeah. It started off rather interestingly. He beefed up, basically did a brrr, and kind of gained a visage of the ice giant god Thrym, and then was like, "Ha, have your champion face me." And so we were like, "Oh, okay, stone-charred warhog who has the visage of our deity, go ahead." He's just got like a plus, I think it's like plus 27 to hit, and it's just like,
right.
Yeah, no, you hit him. Oh yeah. Actually, no, I think he's got like a plus 45 to hit in his visage form. So it's just like, roll a d20, whack. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Is that because of Halloween?
No.
No.
Christmas.
Okay.
Candy canes.
Oh.
I guess that red is a touch overblown, yeah?
Yeah. That's why it was making me think more like Halloween-y. But you kind of did the Halloween-y thing last week with the whole Jason mask. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I could just sit here like this. Oh, God, that's really bright. I'll turn it off. Yeah, see, I don't like this. It's 6 a.m. and it's already bright outside. I don't like it.
Here, it's 6 a.m. and it's bright outside. And at 9 p.m., it's still bright outside. So... What are we, 63 now? Well, okay.
Daylight savings needs to go away.
Yeah.
Because that means that this show now starts an hour earlier for me.
Yes. I've heard the complaints from Gur, who's complaining about having to get up at, 5 a.m. to do this?
He's in Disneyland. Yeah. He can complain. Wham! I can't make it because I'm in Disneyland. Come on, man. That's not something to complain about. Have fun. Find the closest Mickey and I don't know, do stuff to his ears. The rest of us have to work.
Or, you know, full-time fucking parent.
Sure, that too.
I could be lost in that shit. Okay, save. Did you save? Don't know if it's saved. Oh yeah, it's saved. Ooh. Hey, good. It worked. Okay, now share the fucking link so that some people might actually turn up. Just copy that. Because this was not meant to. I don't know why Prism worked the first time. Well, you know, by the end of it, it was working and things were set up and everything. And then I fiddled.
Yeah.
And then I fiddled around with, like, you know, the purely graphic based overlays to match things up and whatnot, tie things up. And then loaded it back up for last week's episode. That doesn't want to connect to the internet anymore. This week, that won't connect again. It's just fucking. I found
technology.
I don't want to have to use OBS. And I know Prism is basically the same thing, but I just wanted to be off of having to use these, you know?
Sure.
Very annoying. Okay.
There was one I was wanting to take a look at called something.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to take a look at it. No, it's called Riverside.
Oh.
I think it's like Riverside FM. Yeah, riverside.fm. It's an online studio. Originally started out for like podcasters, but you know, of course, as everything does, they kind of morph into streaming and that kind of stuff. But I don't know that it's much different than Restream or, you know, anything else. They've got different price tiers. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I miss Tori not being around. She's very good at filling our dead air.
Yeah. What is she up to these days?
I've seen her doing gaming streams, and she was doing a couple of kind of retrospective thought pieces, videos, kind of I don't want to say rambling in a negative context, but like kind of, getting the thoughts out there,
right?
And kind of like getting feedback in the comments, kind of doing a few videos like that, on like the DC-20,
Gotcha.
Daggerheart kind of shifts that she's been doing. Yeah. So you said Riverside, right?
Yeah. Of course, it is. It doesn't look like they have a free. It says that you can start for free, but it doesn't look. Well, no, hold on. Yeah, they have a free. Like if you look at their pricing, it's actually Riverside.com. But if you look at their pricing thing, they've got Pro Live Webinar and Business. They have a free option, but it doesn't show what I can't see what free actually offers. It just says get started for free. And it looks like in order to actually stream, it looks like it's that $39 a month.
Yeah, that's a bit of a pain.
Now somebody just told me about it yesterday, and I thought I'd take a look at it, but I don't know. I'm not seeing anything that's just jumping out at me.
Well, I tried clicking on the free plan thing to see what it was, but instead it's taking me to the studio page and telling me to sign up.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm kind of, like I said, my understanding is this is specifically more for podcasters, but they're dipping their toes into the live stream portion.
Quite frankly, the setup looks a lot like Restream and things like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
yeah.
How's your week been?
It's been beyond crazy. I mean, I don't know. Things just don't want to slow down. Which, I mean, I guess that's a good thing, but it just doesn't slow down at all.
Yeah. I can understand that.
And I'm not talking like, like the whole YouTube stuff. I'm just talking like just work in general. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of stuff going on up there. So, I mean, it makes sense that we're just, in a constant state of busy. But by golly, I'm ready for things to slow down a bit. But yeah. Yes, now we start ramping up for our holiday busy season.
I mean, I could say the same around here too. But ours is a lot more outside activity, kind of fun in the sun. Hello?
Yeah, fun in the sun.
Yeah. It looked like you paused for a second there, and I was like, oh, did lose connection? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've been trying to practice that freezing state, but
jeez.
tired, coach.
Yeah, I feel that. Two old dudes just chatting about being tired.
Pretty much. Pretty much. So, what's the next game book that you're expecting to receive? You haven't done any new Kickstarters lately?
Outside of Cypher, no. But I should be getting. Actually, there is one I should be getting before that one comes out, though. It will be one of the Kobold Press ones for Tales of the Valiant.
Oh yeah, they just what is that new one I keep getting? Oh no, not Kobold Press. It's the it's that other one, that role playing game where it's like, I think I described it as it almost kind of looks visually like a Beatrix Potter, where you role play like bunnies and frogs and little animals.
Yeah,
I'm not too sure about that one.
Plays Guide 2. That's the one I'm waiting on.
I got you.
That backed a while ago, and yeah, I've just kind of been waiting for that one. So, I think we've gotten some preliminary stuff from that Kickstarter, but yeah, like the digital content kind of stuff.
Do you recall what any of? I mean, I'm assuming that they went past their goals. Do you recall what any of the unlocked goodies were?
Off the top of my head, no.
Probably like bookmarks and an extra adventure that's already in the book and was already in the book. And
yeah, probably.
I hate when they do that. Stretch goals. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Oh, if we make this stretch goal, we're going to add a whole new subclass. Like, I just don't care.
See, I like that because, like, going with like what Monty Cook Games did, where it's like, oh, if we reach this next stretch goal, we're going to re-release this whole setting book for everyone.
I've already got it.
Yes. I don't. Fucking Perdition barely came out here, and yeah, I'd never got a chance to get it in physical form. Oh God, I really wanted to get to Gods of the Fall because that would have been fucking awesome. But yeah.
All right, so here's the controversial question: would you rather have digital or physical?
Fuck.
Well, I'd rather do that in physical form. I'm just saying. I mean,
in terms of the using the resource, digital.
Yeah, it is faster to look stuff up for sure.
Yes. However, I will always try to get a physical book. Hello, Sax.
Oh. So what's for lunch, Sax? I gotta know. Looks like a bagel.
No, so we're delaying lunch a little bit, but it's meant to be scrambled eggs. I've then got some salmon slices, meats that will be added in along with that. So that's the plan for lunch later. Salmon and eggs.
Are you going to put some hollandaise sauce over it?
I don't have that.
Oh,
I would if I did.
All you need is some egg, some lemon juice, and
yeah, so I don't have that. I don't have lemon juice.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work when you use like orange juice either.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience?
Maybe.
That's all right.
I mean, hey, desperate times call for desperate measures.
Hello, I see you're in the chat.
Okay, so Game Masters in replying to your question from before. So the stretch goals that got unlocked was a deluxe character sheet PDF, a Wizard's Playbook PDF, 5 more horrifying, awesome illustrations. Seriously, I'm really starting to get annoyed.
Yeah.
New lineages, Sea Elf and Drow variants. 20 new weird spells. As in weird school.
Right.
They have a weird system.
Yeah.
New downtime rules.
Wait, when you say the weird system, that's not tied to the weird, is it?
No.
Okay.
So in Tales of the Valiant, they have their spell schools kind of set up as arcane, divine,
gotcha.
Primal, primordial, and weird.
Okay.
So like arcane's pretty self-explanatory, divine is pretty self-explanatory. Primal is more based on your like raw elemental, natural type things, and weird is more where you get your kind of fae or outer gods type of stuff. So things that kind of blend into like the charming to psionic kind of stuff. Yeah. And then 5 new companions, familiars, mounts, and beasts training rules. So that's all the stuff that got unlocked.
So it's all mostly just digital stuff, not physical stuff.
Yeah, I mean, some of that stuff is going to be in the book, but that's
was already in the book.
Yeah. I think it's kind of why I haven't really been going back to covering more Tales of the Valiant, because I was excited that Kobold Press did a good job, in my opinion, fixing 5e's system.
Sure.
But now they're just kind of following that kind of...
They're not innovating.
Yeah.
They're not moving forward. They just kind of settled in and riding the wave.
Yeah. Now they're just kind of... And it's not just that. Like, they're basically doing what WotC is doing. Like, those aren't stretch goals. That stuff should just be in the fucking book.
Right. Hey, produce a cloth map. Okay, that I can dig. Throw a custom D20. I can dig that. They're probably doing stuff like that, or not doing the physical stuff because it's just going to add into the cost of shipping. That'd be my guess.
They did a D20 stretch goal thingy last time for the last one, if you backed at whatever level it was. And then everyone who wasn't in North America got an email saying, sorry, we can't ship you this D20, so we're providing you with a minor refund to your order cost, and that was it. And it's like, great.
Well, I want all of my money back. All because you can't. Yeah. Anyway, whatever.
It is becoming a problem from what I've observed that the physical production of books is a problem because you're looking at the production costs, you're looking at the shipping costs, and then you're looking at like, okay, well, we put our stretch goal for this because when we did our calculations, it would cost X amount. We added this on and then made sure that we had a little bit of a profit margin.
Right.
But because the time that you've got between when you start the campaign and whatever we get to, things can vary. We've had so many events that
Yeah.
that's just impacted that it's just gone out of control.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and think about, I mean, with the state of tariffs, I'm not going to get into that, but just the fact that tariffs have just gone stupid crazy high.
Yeah.
Just this year alone, I mean, hell, if a Kickstarter ended in December of last year and it was slated to be shipped out in November of this year, it's a completely different landscape at this point, even just from a simple cost standpoint.
Yeah. It's just.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I like to also go back to like what Per was asking about. If physical or digital. Like I have had to stop buying physical because I like physical. I like having something I can sit and read and do that. I've now come to the point in my life where the day-to-day stuff is just like, okay, I'm either working on my current campaigns, which means I'm using very specific books to look things up, and even then, because of like some of the systems I'm using, like 5th edition, there are so many supplements to that.
Sure.
Then there's third-party ones, and it's just like, well, I don't want to own all of those because that's going to just bankrupt me. So I've just got a lot of PDFs for that that I'll then have opened up, and I'll go through and go like, I'm using this monster, this monster, this monster. Get the important things snippeted, put it on a Word document, and then I've got that for reference to then go back to. And yeah, it's also the whole thing of like, I'm seeing that creators, specifically smaller creators, will get more money if I buy the PDF than if I buy the physical one, or I would then have to go down the route of print on demand, where they don't take the costs. It's me who has to take the cost. But then I'm back to the other point, which is it's going to cost me more. The production of the printing of the book, and then the shipping of the book. And I live in the UK. If the printer of the book does not know which tariff code, or not tariff code, but like which commodity code to put, I suddenly sit there and go, well, I now have to pay duty and import tax for that. So
yeah, I mean, I get that. I think that. Well, I know that's one of my biggest gripes with, with specifically with D&D Beyond, and I've been kind of vocal about that over on my channel. But it's 2 Wednesday nights in a row. We've attempted to do some stuff, kind of showcasing some stuff that D&D Beyond can do, and it's gone down both nights. And it's like, this is a prime example why I don't like digital. If I had the physical in front of me and camera down on it, hey, I could go from start to finish and be done with it. But
just be careful how far down your camera is, though.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Naturally. Naturally, surface. It all goes without speaking. We're not in that industry around here. Thumb. Sure, that's what we refer to it as.
Yes, thumb.
Good. Anyway,
I mean, it could be pinky finger actually, but
could
either
be.
way.
But like you are right. With the digital thing, I mean, there are some benefits from D&D Beyond. I mean, I don't use it, but that's again.
Yeah. There are benefits for sure.
I'm deeply integrated into Roll20. Like I've been paying that subscription for so long. I was just like, well. I kind of needed at this point because of the space and the maps and the dynamic lighting. So that's just integrated to what I do.
Yeah.
That's how it's sort of going for me at the very least. That's why, again, like the benefits, again, if I were to go all in for like D&D Beyond and so on, or even if I said, I'm going to go all in for Roll20, having the books and all of those rules then be implemented into my subscription, having that available, being able to then have all my players go, well, I'm going to search up this spell and then click and drag. It takes a lot of the paperwork out of what the players have to do. They just have to read the spells and go click, drag, rather than, okay, I want this spell now, copy and paste and insert it all into the right boxes. Because that's some, again, some players are going to be very lazy about these things, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit and tell them off for that. Depending on which game I'm running. If I'm running a game where it's pretzel and beer and we're here to relax and so on, sure, those are the expectations. If it's one where it's like no, we are keeping track of this. This is a game where you invest into it. If you want a cool story, you have to put some work into it. Otherwise, it will not go anywhere. So that's again. So yeah, it's just at the point where it's like I've got a 8 terabyte hard drive. I can literally, I have so many books on that alone. Yeah. I'm just like, okay, well, my physical collection at this point is just that. It's a collection. If I want to use any of these things, then it's like, cool. Well, I've got my second edition, some of the 5th edition, my 40k stuff, and then a variety of miscellaneous oddities that I have decided that I am not throwing them out because I've spent money on it.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
Yeah, I've got a 5 terabyte hard drive. It currently has 234 gig of free space on it. Yeah, because of all the digital crap that I've got thrown on there. And the sad part is quite a bit of that is, well, not quite a bit, but I'd say at least 20% of that is probably duplicate. Because I've I know I've got it, but I can't find it. So I'm going to grab it again and throw it in this folder that makes sense for me to find it.
Makes sense, yeah. I know what you mean.
It makes sense the first time.
Yeah.
You can go through and tell the hard drive to find all duplicates. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
All right. That's fair.
That takes effort, and I'm lazy.
That's fine. We honestly, but like, this is the thing that like, I don't think a lot of people are then bringing in. It's not full. Like the 8 terabytes is not full to the brim with books. I just need to clarify that. But it certainly does. It is the majority of what I've got there. Than just like random shows and movies that I just
now I would have like more. I would have more, except the fucking drive died on me. One of them did. Lost everything. It just won't boot. It won't get recognized.
Yeah. But yeah. So I have another thing that I did, keeping on the topic of gaming, because it's quite clear for my Sunday group that we've reached the point where it's like, cool, we're going to be heading towards the end game at this point. They've acquired their little piece of land. They're now going to go out and acquire other lands and do invasions and blah, blah, blah. So the topic of like, what are we playing next is cropping up in our conversations. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I just look at the list of games that I have. I'm like, oh, dear Lord, not this again. Because every time we do it, we end up basically going, right, put in every single game you have ever considered playing. We make a gigantic list. Then everyone has to go through and vote for 10 different things. And then anything that got voted on is then what we didn't vote on thereafter. So we have to go like through 5 rounds of voting before we can come down to like a top 3 that we then discuss.
Okay.
It's either that or I end up saying, you know what, fuck it, we're running the game that I now want to do. Which changes so often. Like right now, I'm just having an obsession with Vampire the Masquerade because I want to take one of the players who has never played Vampire the Masquerade and go, right, you're now the prince of the city, and everyone else is the people who works for you.
Wow. Oh, that would be a thing.
No, it would be an interesting thing because he would sit there and be like, well, I am new to this, so we're going to make it so that like he's only recently been turned and graduated into a vampire, but he's very low generation, which means that he's very powerful, so he's there as a puppet, but he then needs to have all the other players who are veterans to then be his advisors. So that's the concept at the very least, but it's either that or the players then want to go in and do Godbound, or they want to do something else, or they want to do something where they're allowed to, I don't know, just... Yeah. No, like Purse, right? There was a... Oh, I don't know. I didn't... If I turn back time, it's just I didn't know that many other games. I only knew about D&D when I first started. But then again, when I first started, I couldn't read English.
Yeah, but I mean, you'll always find a way if there's a game out there.
That's true. There certainly is. I mean, I've got a number of them. Christ.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I fucked up again and did not put together a list of topics.
That's all right. We don't need a list of topics. I can happily go along and discuss why my obsession with Graveyard Keeper has reemerged. And why it just speaks to me in levels that are disturbing.
I've been filling up my evenings with rushing to complete the No Man's Sky expedition, so yeah, I can't really talk.
Fair enough. Mind you, I want to get a hold of No Man's Sky. It looks like a fun game.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I've recently jumped back into World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Fair.
How's that going?
It's fun. I mean, I'm not getting on there daily.
Oh, so then it hasn't taken over your life yet.
No. I mean, it's I got other stuff to do, but it's I mean, I don't know. It's fun, and it is something that I can jump in for 20 minutes or 30 minutes or so and just kind of waste a little bit of time. So.
I mean, I do that with Helldivers. Jump in 40,
Yeah.
20, like 40 or 60 minutes, just go down, do whatever, and then back out. Mind you, right now, the recent mission, like major mission or major order that we have to do is to go and fight bugs, and I dislike that war front. So I've just gone back to fighting the more fun faction, which is robots. That's because it's a taste thing. I don't find it fun to stare down a horde of 30, 40 bugs running at me and going, I don't have that many bullets.
Yeah.
And they eat bullets like it's candy. I was like, okay, cool. Guess I'm gonna die then.
So you're more prepared for a Terminator takeover than you would be for an alien takeover.
Pretty much.
Hey,
Like,
so
at least-
okay,
Go on.
let me ask this: so we know that aliens and Predator are definitely in a shared universe.
Yeah.
Has there ever been any indication through either comics or novels or anything that you guys are aware of where Terminator is a potential in any of that? Seraphis, yeah. What?
Yes, much like how there is a comic of
Alien.
Freddy versus Jason versus Ash,
Right.
there is a Alien versus Predator versus Terminator.
Okay. Is it from Dark Horse Comics?
Probably. Okay. Sounds like one of the things that they would do.
I know that there was a crossover between Alien and Batman. And
yes,
I think
I'm aware of that one as well.
Predator, or am I thinking of, that may have been like a short that I saw, like a little short video. I don't know. Anyway, just curious.
But yeah, there is. Wouldn't know. I don't know more about it. I just remember. I think Linkara mentioned it in one of his other videos. I think during an Alien and Predator review month or something. But yeah, there is one, and I think.
Yeah, it was a 4-issue limited series published by Dark Horse Comics in April to July of 2000. Okay. Yeah, anyway, I was just kind of curious about that.
And I think it's inspired by Bill Paxton and Lance Henriksen.
Gotcha.
Because both of them have been killed by an alien, a predator, and the Terminator.
Yeah. Right.
There. Dumb.
Pretty much.
So, on the topic of what Purse just posted about Cyberpunk plus Terminator, I don't know a lot about Judge Dredd. I just know that there's something called the ABC Warriors. It's probably the closest thing I can think of in that vein, but not, trademarked Terminator and Cyberpunk. I would love to run another Shadowrun campaign. That's another thing that sort of pops up. But it's again because I would very much like to reinvigorate and bring back to life an old campaign where the players were playing in a 4x4 block where the culture there was just the Balkans, Yugoslavia, with like clear defining lines of like, oh, you step over to that street, yeah, now you're in Serb territory. We do not like the Serbs. And this is like, oh shit, what if I just go underneath them? Then you are in Croat land because they are rats. It's like, what the fuck? That was a fun one because I got to basically do a lot of like different groups having their own like corporate wars and so on, and then that in turn would generate contracts for the players to pick from. The problem I found was that the players then went, we don't like any of the contracts, we would like to do our own. I'm like, okay, cool. What would you like to do? And they said, don't know. You would like to have contracts that are your own. It's like, yes. How would you like to acquire these contracts? We don't know. What effort are you willing to do to get those contracts? Nothing. Cool.
I think
here are the contracts I've made. Pick.
I think I would go, okay, I want to collect the contracts and then take those contracts to the other head syndicates and sell those contracts back to them so that they know who's being hunted.
You could do that. I mean, it's definitely one way of going about it. The problem is, at least the way that I ran it, is that you would have a fence or a face
Yeah.
that would be the one giving you the contract. And you wouldn't know his name. He would never care about yours because he's like, I don't need to know who you are.
Right.
Because if I know who you are and that becomes a problem, then I can't deny knowledge of who I gave the contract out to. So that's how it sort of goes. It's like we don't know who each other are. We will never know who each other are, and that's how
makes
it is.
sense.
Yes, but I gave them freedom, and they don't know what to do with it, which is fine. It just means that in situations like that, cool. You will be told what you will do. You get a choice. I'll give you 3 choices to not overwhelm them, and then I'll have my multi-faction event be in the background that the players can then tap into and listen to what's going on.
See, and specifically talking Shadowrun here, obviously, my favorite contract missions to pick up were courier missions, or like the kind of weirder investigation missions.
Yep.
So like, this weird one. Oh, we think our house is haunted. This one's yeah, but we've got a contract for a corporate. I really want to know about that haunted house. Can we do that one?
Well, so I'll give you some examples of the kind of contracts that was given out. One of them was security, because the port had recently been acquired by one of the corporations. Now, in the background, the corporation had basically gone borderline bankrupt to acquire the entire port of Seattle. And if they could not control the port in like this specific time period that the contract was held by, they would lose the thing. And of course, other corporations are like, no, we need to disrupt it because we can't have the enemy have a monopoly. So that was one of the contracts. Another one was there's a pharmaceutical/biological research facility that needs to move goods from like an off port, like a quickly made port, and then up through the Badlands and have it delivered to like a warehouse. So it was like a courier mission where the players had to get on board, defend it, and guide it through a terrain. Then there was a cyber investigation where other it was given out as like, hey, someone is stealing a lot of data, but we don't know who it is. Now the players didn't bother to ask, who's caring about this, because this is the norm. But the fact that other corporations are realizing that their data is being siphoned out from them, that was what was causing it. And there was a shadow organization or shadow corporation that was basically gathering information which would allow them to expose the movements of the different corporations and what they were doing, and they would then sell that to various competitors so that they could do surprise attacks and counterintelligence much more better. The players could have tapped into that. And then there was an acquisition run, which was basically kidnap these people who are trained mages that we need to have moved over to another place. So those were sort of jobs that was presented to the players.
Sound perfectly reasonable to me.
Yeah.
But then, I actually play Shadowrun, so...
Yeah, but see, the thing is, if the players had done a little bit of research for like the port, for example, they would have learned that the port would be desperate because they had spent so much money to get the port that they were on the brink of going bankrupt for this division, which would have meant that they could have gone in and basically gone like, oh, we don't want to talk to the middle management. We're going to talk to the higher management because we know something that's going to strong arm you into paying us more. If they had bothered to do that, they didn't. So they came in. Of course, it was Maersk. So I had a Swedish person sit there and go, oh, yeah, we will give you health care and we will look after you and you will be a big, happy family. To which the players went, ew. They said the F word, the family. Yeah, they could have learned that the people who was doing like the pharmaceutical was actually trying to undercut the various farmers so that they could have control of the food production, which again they could have done something, or they could have acquired information and sold that off to someone else.
Mm.
So regarding the players and me bringing that information, what I told in the build up to that is that the port has been acquired by this corporation.
Mhm.
That corporation was being countersued quite heavily by a bunch of people that had previous contracts that they wanted to have honored, and so on and so on. So they knew that there was a lot of money being invested into not just the port, but also for legal fees and so on, which was causing a big strain. And they knew that the corporation that was being sued was then countersuing in return for all of this. So there was a metric ton of money being poured into the judicial system and the financial thing. So I gave them that heads up. The players then decided that we don't want to do any work. We're just going to go, show up, look at the contract, and go, that's money. We like money. We are going to go
Of
and
course, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, we're going to go and sit on our asses with a little badge that goes security and do that. What the players did do was that the mage decided that he's going to ask to protect himself, and he went snooping around all the various containers, which was fine. He didn't touch anything, but he was then trying to figure out like which container that they could then sell the information to various corporations. Um, yeah, exactly. But it's not something you want out in the open. So the players were doing all of that. Events happened. Rival Shadowrunners came in. They had to stop them because it was their job. They did very well. But in the midst of all of that, they then ended up getting their boss shot from the port, which was just hilarious. And it kind of terminated their contract a little bit earlier because they couldn't actually protect the person that was their supervisor. I swear I'm a normal person. I don't sit and just do this because I'm weirdo. I'm just like, oh, this sounds like fun. Players will enjoy this if they ever find it.
I can relate, to a degree. Like, before my current campaign kind of stalled out because of the age of children, shall we say. Like, I put up multiple big giant signs of, hey, information here. And they were like, ooh, what's that over there?
Oh god, that's a butterfly. Catch it.
That's nothing. But sure, I will allow you to go that way because I'm not going to railroad you guys. I want you guys to enjoy your time. And the funny thing is that they always enjoy their time. But I'm just like, I have a really interesting thing for you guys to like play through. That it's just,
Yeah.
I'm improvising over here, but I put work and time and effort into this thing here, and this is going to be fun. But this is going to
So
leave marks on your psyche.
I almost do like a reverse. Actually, no, I do a funnel system, which is the players have a lot of options, and they start like picking things. But like the more like they start picking things, and with that, I start narrowing the choices down till I get them locked in on something. And it's like, bam, here you are. You're now doing this mission. Off you go. Everything you're learning is about this thing. So I give them the freedom until they find a thing that they go, oh, well, this is interesting. We're going to dig into that. And I'll go, great. This is what I'm focusing on. This is what we're now only getting you information on. And now this is where the story is going on. So like I give them the choice of like deciding what the grand adventure is going to be. Now, can they decide to just take the wheels off and go off the rail and crash into the wilderness? Sure. I do have consequences for that. it does mean that, whatever you're dealing with, either someone's going to be upset and someone's going to want revenge, or you let a bunch of people down and then that will, or you let a bunch of people down and they're going to go, well, you're now untrustworthy. So that's going to start circulating. So you're going to have a hard time getting contracts, whether like you show up and like, hey, we can see this contract, and they go like, oh yeah, so what's your name? It's like, oh, you're those guys. Yeah, cool. I'm not hiring you.
So how quickly would okay, so assume that they went off rails like that.
Yep.
How quickly does that kind of news spread to other syndicates that would make them go, oh, we know who you are, we're not dealing with you?
So it depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can very much depend. But if you're dealing with a lot of Mr. Johnsons, or depending on where you are,
the
equivalents, they will absolutely like share.
They talk.
Yeah, they will talk and like, oh, we've had some good like behavior from these groups of Shadowrunners.
I gotcha.
And here's the ones that we don't like. You guys might want to not, employ them if you want, your employer to,
yeah. If you need a distraction, they're great, but you're not going to give them like these other things. So in a low fantasy game, news are going to spread that quickly until like the merchants travel around, because the merchants are the equivalent of like the bearers of news, and you are going to have like riders of messengers. So it depends on who they screw over. If they screw over, let's say, the Merchants Guild, well, they're going to spread it out. It's like, okay, people of these names are blacklisted. Do not hire them. So the various guilds are slowly but surely going to be informed so that they know who they can trust amongst the mercenaries. Wizards are just going to go, and sending spell to my colleagues, and they can get fucked. Because I'm not having that. My colleagues be affected by that. You mess with the nobles, well, it looks like you're not sticking around that county or barony anymore. Because if you upset a noble, they're like, well, I have the king's law, and then I've got my law, and none of you are noble. Again, and depending on which inspiration we take, because if you have Western European fantasy, well, sure, they can't just take you and hang you, because Western medieval times they look down upon you. You can't just kill the peasants. That's bad. That's bad for you. Eastern European,
you gotta wait till colonizing the New World. That's when you can just have the town just upright kill someone because they're a witch or something.
Exactly. Whereas Eastern European fantasy is like, oh, you do understand that our benevolent or malevolent lord hangs people. So, and he doesn't do trials. Oh God, I had a player genuinely argue that he should have a trial, and I had to ask him, like, so why do you have the right for a trial? I was like, well, this is how it's done. And I was like, yeah, when the crime is either big enough to warrant a trial, or you are someone with a name that deserves such a thing.
Right now, it's just a fine.
It can be a fine. It can be you've committed theft. Ergo, we're now going to get the hammer and break 2 of your fingers. Or if it's really bad theft, we will take your hand, depending on where we are in the world. Or you've committed murder. Well, here's a noose. There's not really much more to discuss. Because there are trials in medieval period, usually reserved for people of the cloth, so the church, the nobility, or someone of very high and respectable standing of society, like the burgomaster.
Well, and there was also burning at the stake.
Oh yeah, if you were condemned by the church for heresy, absolutely.
Or when you're a corpse, like that Pope did to the other Pope.
Wow.
I love Pope Wars. They're so much fucking fun.
Yeah. it gets interesting. Well, yeah, so things like that are things that they can deal with, and I've had to, like when I ran Ravenloft, I had to explain to the players, we are not in Western Europe. We are in Eastern Europe in terms of our inspiration, which means the laws are not what you guys think. Like, it is much harsher. And as we all know, this is inspired by Dracula, which means that you are specific in Wallachia. And for those of you who don't know what Wallachia was like, dear fucking God, it was not nice if you were a peasant.
No, that was something like if you picked the wrong tuber on the wrong day, you just, that's it. You're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's simple stuff that, yeah. Especially if you're in Ravenloft.
Yeah, I mean, Ravenloft is even worse. I literally
just
remember
food at that point.
I straight up remember reading one of the Ravenloft novels, and there's a character that was accused of murder. He says over and over, and the guy is clearly evil, but he goes like, "I didn't kill them, and if I would have killed them, I would have not done it in that way." But they're like, "No, we don't do a trial here. We all, as a mob, has agreed it's you. So you are now dangling from the tree." Now, the person being killed happened to be a were-badger, so it took him a while to actually die until Lord Soft showed up and went, "I can use such a thing." But yeah, like it's brutal. They don't care for you're an outsider. It's like having to explain to players, this is Eastern European inspiration. You come from the village that's beyond the hill. We don't like the village beyond the hill.
Right.
So as a matter of fact, we are going to tell you to stand there and close the gate in front of you and tell you to get fucked. And I was like, but there's zombies out there. Yeah, sounds like a you problem now. You brought elves with you. We don't like elves
But
around these
couldn't the
parts.
counter argument be that there's zombies out there because you guys failed to kill the person properly? Now, you already know that I've murdered somebody as a character. So why not let me go and I'll take care of the zombie problem?
This is the whole thing of like, I'll probably call for like either a charisma roll or a reaction roll to see if you can convince them, because it's a good argument. Because they stand to lose. Well,
I mean, look at this face. Come on.
That's fine. You know what it is? It sounds like they don't even have the effort to kill you. They're just gonna put you in the sheath, wrap you up, and throw you into the grave, bury you alive.
Yeah, that would suck too. Will there at least be a little bell up top that I can?
That you
No,
can ring.
probably not, because they already know I'm alive, I guess.
Yeah, no, like they wouldn't even put you in like in the honorable and sanctified, church. No, like you get thrown into the ditch.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I tried to save you all.
I think the most cold-blooded thing I've ever witnessed. It was the aftermath, but a player wanted to rob a chemist's or like an alchemist's shop. Didn't really go well, so he went to the door, opened it, put a blocker on it, stepped all the way out, and cast fireball in there. And then he wanted to go back in and steal everything. Well, he was caught. He was trialed. Well, no, not trialed. Like the Lord basically came down and went, right, you were seen casting fireball. You were seen running in to the burning fire. You were seen looting, and you've cast a spell that started a fire, which is a death sentence, because the fire could have spread and killed the rest of the place. And the player, and this is the same player who went like, I want a trial by this. To which the chef went, what gives you the right for that? Oh, I'm a wizard. I'm of good stock. I'm like, of which region of the world are you a good stock from? This region over here, like beyond, like very far distance. And I went, okay, so are you a noble? Yes, I am. All right, where's your proof that you're noble? Oh, I don't have it on me. So you can't prove that you're noble, which means that I am adding on the potential charge of impersonating a noble. So that went back and forth, and the sheriff basically then talked to the players like, is he actually a noble? It's like, no. All right, cool. They then took him out. They hung him, and one of the players went, because that player had been very problematic for the rest of the group. So that player went, I would like my character to run up, jump on the hanging body to help it die quicker.
Oh, God. Bless.
The entire group, like, again, in real life, the players sat and looked at the one who was just being hung and went, we will do it again if you...
Well, I mean, that's one way to deal with a problematic player for sure.
Yeah, well, again, now the group took care of it. The same player did something else where he caused another player to lose his character, and again, they were level 8, so like, it wasn't like you could just like roll up another character at that point. It's like, no, we put a lot of effort into this. We've been playing all year, and you've now caused that one to die. So the group basically went, right, your character's not coming with us. And they were like, but what if I just follow you? I was like, if you follow us, we will kill you. Oh, I've got fireball. I was like, okay, you're dying. And then at that point, we had to take the player aside and go, okay, we've come to the point of where twice we've had to do some course correction, and you have not course corrected. You now have to consider whether the next session you show up is where you play with the group, or if you would like to join another group. Well, he found another group.
Gee, I can't imagine why.
Mm-hmm. Now, again, there's some players where it's just like, I just want to be a chaos gremlin and not have to deal with the consequences. Yeah. Cool. I'm not a DM for that. I will force consequences down upon you.
Opposite of what Per said, it's not late here. It's super early. And I can't stop yawning.
I think it's midnight for Seraphis.
About 10 minutes away, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, let's call it here. It's a good one.
Yep.
I'll go get me some coffee.
I got school in the morning, or school drop off in the morning, so yay. 7 a.m. wake up, which is, always fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Well, thank you for hosting, Seraphis. It's always been fun.
Yep. And yeah, we'll be back here. Same bat time, same bat channel, same frozen Mr. Game Masters. Oh, he was frozen. Wow. You were frozen that time.
No, it's my internet on this computer decides, oh, you know what? We're just done being connected to the internet. Oh, I see that. I'm seeing the replay here, and that's actually a pretty ironic compared to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. What was I in the middle of saying anyway?
I don't know. Anyway, gentlemen, I'm going to have to bounce here. It's been fun.
All right.
Take care.
See ya.
See you, Sax. And we will catch the rest of you, I don't know, next week, same bat time, same bat channel. You got anything to add?
Pimento cheese is great with Tabasco sauce.
You heard it here